The UK's Balancing Act, scientific collaboration with China amidst security concerns. The revelation that 500,000 UK general practitioner (GP) records will be accessible to Chinese researchers has ignited a fierce debate, pitting the pursuit of scientific advancement against pressing national security concerns. This decision, made despite anxieties voiced by Western intelligence agencies, underscores the complex geopolitical landscape shaping UK-China relations and the ethical dilemmas inherent in international data sharing. The Guardian's exposé reveals that despite reservations about the potential misuse of sensitive health data by a regime known for its authoritarian practices, the UK government has approved access for Chinese researchers to the vast trove of information held by UK Biobank. This decision, seemingly a calculated risk to foster economic ties with China, has provoked strong reactions from various quarters. The strategic move to appease a rising global superpower, particularly one prioritizing biotechnological prowess, is evident. This decision comes at a time when UK-China relations are already strained, facing challenges over issues such as the fate of a Chinese-owned steel plant and concerns surrounding foreign interference. While a government spokesperson insists that security and privacy considerations are always taken into account, critics remain unconvinced. The sheer volume of data accessed by Chinese researchers raises eyebrows. An analysis of UK Biobank's published records reveals that of 1,375 successful applications for access to its data, 265, almost 20%, originated from China, second only to the United States. This significant representation highlights the considerable interest Chinese scientists have in utilizing this invaluable resource. This data has already been utilized by Chinese scientists for crucial research, including the impact of air pollution on public health and the identification of biological markers predictive of dementia. Adding another layer of complexity, last year, UK Biobank approved access for a research project on aging by a unit of BGI, a prominent Chinese genetics company. This approval stands in stark contrast to the US government's decision to blacklist BGI subsidiaries, effectively barring Americans from exporting to them. The US government's justification for these restrictions points to a significant risk posed by BGI's collection and analysis of genetic data, claiming it could be used for government surveillance, potentially in the repression of ethnic minorities, and even diverted to China's military programs. These stark warnings underscore the potential national security implications and highlight the profound difference in approach between the US and UK governments. Despite objections from some GPs, Health Secretary Wes Streeting green-lighted the transfer of patient records, a decision that has further fueled the controversy. The timing of this decision, following the adoption of China's 2017 legislation enforcing cooperation with the regime's spies, is particularly concerning. My5 warning to custodians of British personal data regarding the potential loss of control over information when engaging with Chinese individuals and organizations adds weight to these concerns. The scale of China's ambition in this area is also alarming. Edward Yu, a former high-ranking U.S. intelligence officer specializing in new technologies, highlighted China's development of the world's largest biodatabase in 2021, emphasizing the irreversible nature of genetic data compromise. This statement underscores the gravity of the situation, highlighting the irretrievable nature of genetic information once compromised. Privacy campaigners at MedConfidential have voiced similar concerns, questioning the lack of transparency surrounding the precise nature and location of the disseminated data. Their persistent calls for clarity regarding which data has been shared with which researchers remain unanswered. This opacity fuels public distrust and raises legitimate questions about accountability and oversight. Until recently, UK Biobank allowed researchers to take copies of its data, relying on their agreement to destroy the data upon project completion. However, the lack of verifiable mechanisms to enforce this agreement proved problematic. This was further highlighted by the revelation last year that a fringe group promoting racist pseudoscience claimed access to UK Biobank data. In response to these vulnerabilities, UK Biobank has transitioned to a new system where researchers access data solely through its platform. This change, while a step in the right direction, does not fully alleviate the concerns regarding data security and the potential for misuse, particularly in light of the access granted to Chinese researchers. The continued access granted to Chinese researchers, despite these changes, maintains the central concern. This situation presents a delicate balancing act for the UK government. The pursuit of scientific collaboration and economic benefits must be carefully weighed against the very real risks to national security and individual privacy. The lack of transparency and the lingering unanswered questions surrounding data security and usage highlight a critical need for greater oversight and accountability in the sharing of sensitive health data internationally. The ongoing debate underscores the urgent need for robust frameworks to protect national interests while fostering legitimate scientific collaborations. The future of data sharing, particularly with nations with differing regulatory frameworks and geopolitical priorities, requires careful consideration and the implementation of stringent safeguards. The UK's experience serves as a crucial case study for other nations grappling with similar dilemmas.